I'm sorry, you're just bullshitting me. That's not fun. If you wanted to talk seriously, I would love
That's
to
exactly
talk
what I'm
seriously.
doing.
But when you start making up stuff, that's not fun. You know how bad things are here.
No, they're not. We have the highest.
Go over there and
we
look
have
at
the
how
highest,
people are living.
We have the highest standard
Go
of living in the
look at
world.
how people are living.
Do people live better in Mexico?
Go look at how people are living.
Do people live in Mexico
Go
better than
look
America?
at how people are living in West Philly.
We're the only we're the only industrialized nation that people have to be afraid of healthcare. Okay?
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Show me another industrial nation that doesn't
Let
have
me
the price.
let
Let me
me
finish.
Yes.
Okay. Show me another industrialized nation that doesn't have socialized medicine. That doesn't have. Oh, I know socialism. Woo. Okay.
So you're for
doesn't have
socialism?
single payer. No,
Okay.
I'm for socialized medicine. Actually, I'm an anarchist libertarian. I have libertarian views as well as anarchist views. Okay. But I think healthcare should cost the taxpayer. Okay, that's who should pay for healthcare. You know why? Because we've already paid for it. Our children have paid for it.
How?
Out of our tax money.
How?
One-third of your income
Really?
goes
Okay, let me
taxes.
ask.
One-third of your income, goes to taxes. Okay, instead
Who
of funding
pays
wars, you should
taxes?
fund healthcare.
Okay.
I do. I have 2 jobs.
What about 50% of Americans who pay exactly zero taxes? What about them?
corporations that pay a paltry sum? Okay.
What's a paltry sum?
Corporations pay about a third. 20% of what a person pays? How is there an inequality there? That is an inequality.
Have you ever run a business?
Have I ever run a business?
Right.
My own small business, doing freelance videography. Yes, I work for myself.
So let me give you a scenario because I'm a small businessman myself.
Sure.
Okay.
What business do you run?
I import furniture from Brazil.
Okay. Cool.
So let's say the government taxes me even more than I'm
Make sure
paying.
you get me a frame.
Not a problem. You can get
Wide
a
angle. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Right.
You're good. You're
Okay.
in.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're in. Just a little dark because of the background.
Okay. Go ahead. Now.
So let's say the government comes in, and instead of me paying, let's say, hypothetically, 30% in taxes, okay, the government now wants me to pay 60% in taxes, okay? So this is what's going to happen in this scenario.
Okay.
So this money goes to the government,
Right.
okay? So I have less available cash. If I have less available cash, it means that I have to shrink my business. When I shrink my business, it means that I hire fewer people. When I hire fewer people, it means there are more people that are unemployed or looking for a job, paying exactly again zero taxes. So don't you think that in this just simple logical example, the lower the taxes are, the more opportunities there are for the government, and the country collects the same amount of money. You know what, statistically, the government collects 21% of taxes regardless of the taxes, of the tax code. Because when you impose too high taxes, there are fewer people who participate in it. So in the end, the government gets less. When you lower the taxes, the more people are engaged in business activities, and even though they pay lower taxes individually, in the aggregate, the government gets more money. Isn't it so?
No, I agree with you. But
Okay.
with one stipulation.
Okay, what is
What
it?
you said is absolutely correct. But what bothers me is these corporations hire labor outside of the country.
Okay.
Now, okay, they get tax breaks for saying that they're providing, a service to our economy in exactly the way you described, which I agree with. Now, what you're talking about applies to businesses that hire and move money around in our own economy. I think there should be some sort of laws. Yeah, I have to cover this. I will talk to you.
Okay.
No, I mean, you're right in a lot of ways.
But let me, if you want to talk about outsourcing, I can tell you what I think about outsourcing. Yeah.
Mic check! Check! Our first speaker! Ryan Sunstein is about to begin! At the second grade!
Like no walkie-talkie, that kind of stuff.
Thank you!
I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to get it under Try to get out with it now.
So interesting.
Okay, so
wait. I'm interested in continuing our conversation. So get back to your point, and I'll listen.
okay, so now when it comes to outsourcing, so-called outsourcing,
Well, it's not so-called. It is outsourcing.
Okay.
I mean, honestly.
Well, there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with it, and here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. First of all,
How does it benefit our economy? How does
I'll
it
explain.
generate money and
Give me-
revenue.
give me 2 minutes. I'll go
Sure.
through it.
Please do.
Easily. Okay.
Yeah. Because the point of this is conversation.
Okay.
Is dialogue and understanding.
Where do you think this shirt that you're wearing on jersey is made
A
in?
lot of this stuff is made in other countries.
Okay.
Yes.
So as the result, because it's made in other countries, you pay less for it, right? And you would like to get it for as little money as possible. I mean, if it were made in the United States, it would cost maybe twice as much, right?
Sometimes I'm willing, if I can afford it, to spend a little bit more if I think it's ethically produced. But I'm in an economic situation right now to where I can't pick and choose. So I have to buy cheaper things because of where I'm at.
We
I would
all-
like to have a more successful small business. I would like my small business to be more successful so that I can have the economic prosperity to grow and actually,
But this is how it works with outsourcing. So let's say you have a fixed income. Let's say you work for someone, if you're on business. So let's say you have a fixed income, for argument's sake, I know, $5,000 a month. Okay. So this is your fixed income. So if you were to buy this shirt instead of for let's say $200, I mean $100, so you now have to pay $200 because it's manufactured domestically, then this $200 would be subtracted from your fixed income, right? So you would have, instead of having $5,000, you now have $4,800 left, right? Instead of $4,900 that you have now, because this shirt was made overseas. Now that we have an additional $100, what do you do with this additional $100? You can go out now, you can travel, you can spend this money in a restaurant.
Sure.
What happens when you spend this money in the restaurant? You help the restaurant to do business, right? The restaurant can hire more people.
What you're
So
saying
the
is
fact,
what you're saying is a benefit, but also
Of course it's a benefit.
But listen, but also making sure money stays in our own economy and moves
Yes.
within our own economy
Yes.
is a plus. And doing something about, I'm not saying put a moratorium on outsourcing, but I mean the kind of stuff they do to Indian children. I mean, don't you find that immoral? I mean, don't you find that morally reprehensible? Honestly.
when China was a communist China, let me talk about that. If you want to talk about morality,
Our trade relations with China is vile.
No, hold on,
I mean,
hold on.
It's
Hold on.
egregious.
If you want to talk about the moral aspect, we can talk about the moral aspect, because
Please.
when China
But answer my
when
question though
China
first. I asked you a question.
Yes.
Do you not find that morally reprehensible, like child labor in other countries?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
Yeah.
However, it's not the child labor abuses in those countries is not the result of capitalism. Is not the result
I
of
don't
our
even have issues with
outsourcing.
capitalism. I don't have issues with it. I
Okay,
want to
but
reform
it-
capitalism. I'm not one of those anarchists that
But-
think we
but-
should destroy everything.
but-
It's dumb. What now? Please don't talk to him? Why? What's
why?
the trip?
His shirt says right wing.
So
Okay.
what? So what?
So
we-
what's talking to you guys? It's
Really?
like you come down here just to antagonize me.
But I don't feel antagonized.
Yeah,
It's
well,
happening.
we have a decent discussion based on argument, based on example. So if you want to get engaged, by all means, let's talk
I mean,
about
have
it.
you seen what he produces? Does he produce stuff and
Well, I know that the
skew
right.
people
I know that
to-
the Tea Partier
Yeah.
actually having an anti-Islamic speaker speak here Sunday.
So
Yes, I'm Muslim. That's racism. You guys are promoting.
Is that true? Or are you guys?
So I don't know about
I don't know, I'm
that.
just asking. I don't
But hey, if you're a terrorist and you're a Muslim, you're a terrorist first and Muslim second.
Okay, but I'm a Muslim. And
So what? So what? Do I care that you're a Muslim? I'm Jewish. So what? It doesn't bother
That
me.
means you're the same people. You're both
I mean,
Semites.
you judge
Right.
you judge someone
Like,
by who you are.
genetically, culturally, something I find interesting,
What?
and a lot of people don't get this in American culture, or just
Of
Western
course
culture
not.
period, that Semites are the same, like in a lot of ways. I mean, the Palestinians, Israelis, Arabs, Jews, like, you're very culturally similar.
Oh,
From the-
yeah, sure. Like
I
worlds
think so.
apart.
I
The
think so.
fact,
I think so.
no, we're not.
Culturally, yes. Politically, no.
Yeah,
Culturally,
but they're
Right,
intertwined. I mean,
yeah.
they're
two brothers.
no, they're not. No, they're not.
No, I
They're,
mean, like-
of course not. Of course not.
I mean,
I mean, this is where fundamentally the Jews are different from the Muslims. The Jews, they praise life.
Sure.
There's nothing more important, and this is what this country is based on.
So does the Holy
The,
Quran.
no,
They praise
no,
life. Yes,
no,
I've
they
read it.
praise death.
No.
It's like for Allah.
No.
Yes, they do. I mean, look, it's fundamentally, that's
No,
how
there's,
it's
there's
different.
two kinds of Islam.
There's
Shia and
no,
Sunni,
it's
okay?
baloney. It's the
Shia
same,
is
the
a
same
minority.
concept. The same
Shia is
concept.
No.
It's the same.
I humbly disagree with you, sir. Well, I mean,
That's what it is.
that's what free speech is about. You know?
Of course, yeah, but I am not going to be politically correct because that's what it
No,
is.
I'm not being politically correct. I just see a lot of similarities culturally between.
Have you give me
Palestine
one
and
example
Israel.
when Israelis or in our society we would say, you know, the sacrifice of your children is good for the greater good, you know, in a essentially terroristic sense. We've never done that. I mean, the whole mighty United States will go maybe even to war with the entity that would hold our citizens hostages. We'll do the best we can to free them because they value life.
You don't find the apartheid wall in Gaza violent?
No,
You don't
no,
find it
but
violent? But it
have
is
you
violence.
name me?
You know it's violence. It is violence.
Okay, I'll get to that in this.
No.
I'll-
And the naval blockade Israel has. That
There's
doesn't allow
no.
them-
It's
BS.
international. It's international to follow the international
Okay,
laws.
not allowing them to import things like concrete and glass so they can
It
build houses.
goes through Israeli borders.
You guys are putting them on such a bad diet, such a small diet that they're not being able to meet their own
Okay,
social
I
and
mean,
economic
listen.
needs.
Then
I mean, that is violence.
if we start
It is
talking
violence,
about it,
my
let's
friend.
let's
I
let's
mean,
get
it is
back
violence.
let's get back to the
Oh, you
economy
want to get
because
back to the? Okay, we can talk about something else.
yeah
It's
because
fine.
because this I mean I
It's
can
fine.
go on for on but it
But
seems
see,
like
I'm learning from you. I like hearing
okay,
from you.
good. So if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. We can talk about the wall. And let me ask you about the so-called. If let's say we have ships entering our territorial waters without the permission of our Coast Guard, do you think that we're gonna treat those intruders with kid gloves?
No, I'm not saying
First
treat
of
them with
all?
kid gloves,
Well, but you just said blockade.
No. I said the moratorium,
On what?
not allowing the state of Palestine, not allowing them to ship in glass and concrete.
There
medical
is, first
supplies.
of all, there isn't such a thing as the state of Palestine. There is such a
they
thing.
would
There's
disagree with you.
There's no such a
Palestinians
country. It
would-
doesn't
would
matter
disagree with you.
whether they disagree with me or not.
Right.
They
People that
can
live there call it Palestine. That's what they
Well,
call it.
no, they
Call
are.
themselves Palestinians.
The Palestinian problem is created artificially by the surrounding Arab countries. They need this festering problem, and they use it for their own advantage.
polarizing
You know,
agenda.
yes, you know that.
could see that.
You know that Palestinians living in Jordan, for example, they were never granted Jordanian citizenship. They're treated
My friend
second.
Ramsey is from Jordan.
So, if you're Jordanian,
Yeah.
Jordanian by birth, if you're part of the Jordanian kingdom, you're fine. But if you're a Palestinian living over there,
Yeah.
you're treated as a second-hand citizen. Did you know that? I mean, just a simple little fact. So the Palestinians are not welcome.
Well, there's inequalities in every country. I mean, we treat Mexican farm workers as second-class
No, we
citizens in America.
don't.
Oh,
I mean,
BS. Do you know any?
Well, of course I do.
Okay.
Of course
you know
I do.
Mexican farm workers.
Well,
you know them.
look,
Because
the only
just let me tell you a little bit about my background.
Yeah.
I grew up in rural North Carolina. I got my
Uh-huh.
first job when I was 14 years old,
Uh-huh.
picking tobacco in fields with rural Mexican
Okay.
farm workers.
Okay, so
I know some of them. I know how they're treated.
Uh-huh.
I know what we do as a society. Personally, I think if they're going to be allowed to be over here, they should be treated with more dignity and respect.
Uh-huh.
But my own personal perspective is that we should treat people that come over here the same way that Europe does. Try to go into Germany and say, "Hey, I want to work from America." They'll tell you to get out. Because it doesn't do anything to help.
Question
the
number
economy.
one. Question number one. Are you knocking on Canadian doors trying to escape to Canada? In the middle of the night. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been tempted because of their healthcare system.
Okay.
I can't afford a doctor. I can't. You know what I do when I get sick?
But
I go to the emergency
But
room.
have
because I can't
you
afford
applied
anything else.
have you applied for Canadian citizenship? Have you crossed
No,
the
but I
border
really
in the middle of the
considered
night?
marrying a Canadian girl, so I could be a Canadian citizen.
Well,
I have
send me
really
an
considered
email
it.
when you start living in Canada, then we'll talk. But
Really?
let
Do
me.
you live there?
No, but I know what's happening over there. But let me
Is
ask
this
you.
your wife?
Yes, but let me ask you another
Hi.
question. Do you think that it's comprehensible? Well, let's get in the shadow. It's
Yeah,
getting
let's
real.
get in the shade.
Yeah. Now,
Mind your shot.
do you think Have you
I said I apologize if I'm in your shot. All right. What now?
have you heard of an American president flying to Canada for an operation?
No, I haven't.
No. But have you heard of a Canadian prime minister flying to Miami for an operation?
Sure, but that's
why?
That's an inequality
Why?
of wealth.
Oh,
He
give
can
me
afford our
a
medical care.
break.
Medical care is
Give
great
me a
here if you
break.
can afford it.
Why?
If
Why?
you can afford it.
But
yeah.
who is out of? But who is out of healthcare? You go
The
to.
amount of tax money I pay, I should be getting free healthcare. Period.
But the reason.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Free. There is such a thing as
correction,
free.
it's not free. I already paid for it.
You
Okay?
didn't pay for
Bullshit
it.
I have.
You didn't pay for it. What do you mean
I
you
paid
pay
enough
for
revenue
it?
into
Have
the
you?
tax coffers
Do
to
you
have
know
free
how much healthcare costs? Have you ever received a bill? Have you ever went through the
I
bill?
know a
The
wheelchair
actual
ride
cost.
should not cost $100. I know a Tylenol should not cost $25. That is insane. That's what it costs in a hospital. I've got the bills. Okay,
but
they've
probably-
charged me $100 to ride in a wheelchair that I didn't even need. I'm sorry to be like loud with you. I'm just angry. Okay. Like,
But your anger is misplaced.
That's incredible.
Your anger is totally misplaced. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever heard of a procedure called LASIK?
Sure, for your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how
Thinking
much?
about buying it for my girlfriend. It's a few $100.
Good. So do you know how much LASIK cost? Somewhat 10 years ago?
And it cost a couple $1,000 10 years ago.
No, much more. It was like over 10,000, 7,
Really?
10.
I thought it cost about $5,000.
Well,
7,
so-
10.
10 years ago. How much does it cost today?
$200-300.
Why?
I don't know. Why?
You don't know.
Why?
So you're willing to talk
No,
about the
actually,
whole
teach me.
healthcare.
I'm
It's very
I'm
simple.
learning from you.
Look, the capitalist, the fundamentals of the capitalist system, and the thing that brings the prices down is competition. Remember when flat panel TVs just came out?
Well,
Remember
that's
how much?
something I already know. Yeah, you're telling me something I already know now.
Well, yeah,
Understand
but guess what? Guess what happens with our healthcare system? There's no competition. There's no competition. Where do you
No,
what?
especially after
what's-
Obama's healthcare bill got passed, there is
Yeah,
no competition.
Well,
Obamacare, I totally think it's just crazy. It's
totally crazy. Yeah,
totally crazy.
but
Forcing somebody to buy something they don't necessarily need is
Where-
not only
where-
is it crazy, but it's
what-
unconstitutional as well.
What state do you live in?
Oh, Oregon.
Oregon. So Oregon, what state does it border?
What state is it? Border California.
California. That's right. So let's say living in Oregon, can you buy health insurance, California health
I
insurance?
can't afford it, but you can buy it. If
Really?
I, can afford it.
I know. I don't know about Oregon, but I know that living in New York City and New Jersey is
I cannot afford health
is right across the
Where I'm
river.
at in my life now.
I cannot buy insurance from New Jersey. I can't. So where's the competition there then?
There's none.
There's none. Exactly. So that
That
answers your question. So if we were to talk about the reform, this is one of the things that we should have done in the first place. Allow the competition. That would automatically lower the costs, like it did with
Here's the
LASIK.
thing, right? Free market capitalism, Austrian economics works. I'll give you that. Okay, but we have a captive market now. We don't have a true free market.
No,
you
we
have
don't.
These corporations that are squatting on top of our nation, eating the substance out of it.
It's not-
Certain corporations are acting in a moral
Don't
manner. Some of them
blame
do.
the
Some-
corporations.
corporations are just like people. Some act in a moral manner. Some do not.
No,
That's just a fact.
no. You said
That's just a fact. Some
You
corporations
said
are
you
just not- not
had
behaving in a moral manner.
you had your own business. What's
Sure I
the
do.
thing number one that your business was striving for? The thing number one.
Profit and economic
Profit, exactly.
and economic
Profit,
prosperity for
profit,
myself, yeah.
exactly. Profit. So when the government issues hundreds of thousands pages of regulations, what does it do to your profit? It means that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Then your options are severely limited. And when your options,
What time is it?
yeah, I was checking because we have to go to the museum.
So do you have a YouTube channel I can look up?
No.
Do you produce the stuff? Or?
No, I don't produce this stuff. I'm just concerned American. That's that.
You should be putting it on YouTube. That way people can learn from the
Well,
conversation.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. I have followers on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. Now, what's your YouTube channel?
You can Google former Soviet citizen.
Okay, right on.
And then you'll find them.
So then you're privy of the fact that we're basically going by the way of Stalin and Brezhnev, right?
In this country?
Yes.
No,
I can totally see that
no.
happen. No, I don't see it. I don't
Not
see
this
it yet.
extreme.
I see an incremental, slowly creeping.
That's
forward.
true. That's true.
What I mean.
Thanks to Obama.
Well, not just it's been happening for
No,
It's been
no,
happening since
no.
Roosevelt.
Yeah,
yes. Read your American
Well,
history.
Roosevelt, yeah,
Yes.
Roosevelt to a
New
degree.
Deal. Give me a break. Yeah. Read your American
I
history.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's been happening
With
for
Roosevelt,
a long
I agree.
time, and it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But I have to go and
All right.
film this. But thank you. For
Okay,
talking with me.
sure. Ciao.